Hello and welcome to Functional Skills Maths Level 2. In this session, we will calculate perimeters and areas of 2D shapes, including triangles and circles, and composite shapes, including non-rectangular shapes. By the end of this session, you should be able to work out the perimeter of basic 2D shapes like squares, rectangles, and triangles, work out the circumference of a circle, work out the area of a basic shape like squares and rectangles, and work out the area of triangles and circles. So let's look at perimeter first. First, we need to understand what a perimeter is. The perimeter is the distance of the line all the way around the shape. Think of a square as a garden and the line of the square as a fence. In this example, the length of the fence all the way around is the perimeter. The formula for working out the perimeter of a square is P equals 4A. Now A equals the length of one side of the square. And since the square is made up of 4 equal sides, perimeter equals 4 times 2. In this case, the perimeter of the square is 8 centimeters. The formula for working out the perimeter of a rectangle is P equals 2 times L plus W, or perimeter equals 2 times the length plus the width. In this case, the length is 12 centimeters and the width is 7 centimeters. So 2 times 12 plus 7 is also written as 2 times 19, which is 38 centimeters. The formula for working out the perimeter of a triangle is P equals A plus B plus C. So let's have a look at what that means and how we'll work it out. Firstly, what we need to do is change our letters for numbers in our equation, so we can change our A, B, and C for the numbers in our triangle. So perimeter equals 3 centimeters plus 5 centimeters plus 4 centimeters. Now we can just do the sum to work out the perimeter, and that's 12 centimeters. So here's an example of a triangle. So P equals A plus B plus C. In this instance, it would be 12 plus 5 plus 9. And that's 26 meters. The second example, it's the same equation. And in this case, it's 14 plus 7 plus 8 to get our perimeter. And in this instance, it's 29 centimeters. So let's look at a typical exam question. Shown below is an equilateral triangle. Work out the perimeter of the triangle, including suitable units. So as this is an equilateral triangle, that means all the sides are the same length. And as we've been given the length of one side, then we know that all the other sides must be the same length. So press pause, have a go at the question, and then press play when you're ready to get the answer. Did you get it right? Well, the length of one of our sides of the triangle, but we need to find out the length of the other two sides. And as this is an equilateral triangle, then this means all the sides must be the same length. So P equals 7 plus 7 plus 7, which is 21 millimeters. Here's another example question. Shown below is an isosceles triangle. Work out the perimeter of the triangle, include suitable units. This is an isosceles triangle. This means that two sides are the same length. The different side is called the base, and the two equal sides are called the legs. As we've been given the length of the base, which is 8 centimeters, and one of the legs, which is 10 centimeters, then we know the length of the remaining sides. So have a go at answering the question, and then press play when you're ready to get the answer. Did you get this correct? We know the length of the two sides of our triangle, but we need to find out the length of the other side. And as this is an isosceles triangle, then this means that the remaining side is of equal length to the other leg. So P equals 8 plus 10 plus 10. And in this case, it's 28 centimeters. The formula for working out the circumference of a circle is C equals 2 pi r. But what does this mean and how do we work it out? The C stands for circumference, and then we can change our letters and symbols for numbers in our formula. The symbol in the equation stands for pi, and this is 3.14. The r stands for the radius, which is the distance to the middle of the circle from the edge. In this example, the radius is 4 centimeters. So the circumference is 2 times 3.14 times 4. The circumference is 25.12 centimeters. So let's look at this first example. The radius is 6 centimeters. C equals 2 pi r. So that can be written as circumference equals 2 times 3.14 times 6. And the circumference is 37.68 centimeters. The second example, the radius is 3.2 centimeters. So using the same equation, the circumference is 2 times 3.14 times 3.2. In this instance, the circumference is 20.096 centimeters. So now let's look at some practice questions. For each of the questions below, work out what the circumference of the circle would be if the radius or diameter, remembering that the radius is half the diameter, was the following measurements. First one, the radius is 8. In the second one, the radius is 24. In the third example, the diameter is 78. And in the fourth example, the diameter is 108. So press pause and have a go at answering the questions and press play when you're ready to see the answers. Did you get them right? Well, the first one is 2 times 3.14 times 8, which is 50.24. Second example, it's 2 times 3.14 times 24, which is 150.72. Third example, the circumference is 2 times 3.14 times 39, which is 244.92. The fourth one is 2 times 3.14 times 54, which is 339.12. Now remember, in both the third and the fourth example, we were given the diameter as the measurement, so we needed to half those to get the equation correct. Here's a typical exam question. Shown below is a circle with a diameter of 5 centimeters. Calculate the circumference of the circle, give your answer to one decimal place. If the diameter is the distance across the circle and the radius is the distance to the middle of the circle, then we need to half the diameter to find the radius. So press pause, have a go at answering the question, and press play when you're ready to see the answer. It's correct. As we've now found the radius, we can use our formula to find the circumference of the circle. So the circumference equals 2 times 3.14 times 2.5, which is 15.7. So let's look at how to work out the area of a square and a rectangle. The formula for working out the area of a square or a rectangle is A equals L times W. But what does this mean and how will we work it out? Well, the A can be changed to area. And then what we need to do is change our letters for the numbers in the equation. Then we can change the L, which is the length, to 33, and the W, which is the width, to 10. Area equals 33 times 10, which is 330 centimeters squared. When working out area, the answer will always be squared. So here's an example of a square. And area equals length times width. Well, square is 4 equal sides, so the area will be 10 times 10, which is 100 centimeters squared. In this second example, again, using A equals L times W, the equation would be area equals 12 times 7, which is 84 centimeters squared. Let's look at some practice questions. For each of the questions below, work out what the area of this rectangle or square would be if the length and width were the following measurements. Number 1, length is 7 centimeters and width is 3 centimeters. Number 2, length is 18 centimeters and width is 12 centimeters. And number 3, the length is 25 centimeters and the width is 22 centimeters. And in 4, both the width and the length are 55 centimeters. So press pause, have a go at answering the questions, and when you're ready to see the answer, press play. Get these right. The first one is area equals 7 times 3, which is 21 centimeters squared. In the second example, area is 18 times 12, which is 216 centimeters squared. In the third example, the area is 25 times 22, which is 550 centimeters squared. And in the fourth example, the area is 55 times 55, which is 3025 centimeters squared. Let's look at how to work out the area of a composite shape. The easiest way to work out the area for a shape like this is to split it into 2 rectangles and then work out the area for the individual shapes. And then at the end, add the 2 areas together. Firstly, we need to work out what the area of the first rectangle is. The length will be 6 centimeters, but we need to work out the width. So we need to take the width of the whole line, which in this case is 9 centimeters, and then subtract the length of the rectangle you are taking away, which in this case is the 4 centimeters. So the width of our first rectangle will be 5 centimeters, in other words 9 centimeters minus 4 centimeters, and that will be 6 centimeters times 5 centimeters to give us 30 centimeters squared. Now we need to work out what the area of the second rectangle is. The length will be 4 centimeters and the width will be 3 centimeters. So 4 centimeters times 3 centimeters, 12 centimeters squared. Now we need to add our areas of the 2 rectangles together to have the overall area of this shape. So 30 centimeters squared plus 12 centimeters squared gives us 42 centimeters squared. Here's another example. So the area of the first rectangle at the base is 7 centimeters times 4 centimeters, which is 28 centimeters squared. The area of the second rectangle is 7 centimeters times 2 centimeters, which is 14 centimeters squared. Now we've gotten that 7 by taking 4 away from 11. Then the area is 28 centimeters squared plus 14 centimeters squared to give us 42 centimeters squared. The second example, the area of the first rectangle is 10 centimeters by 6 centimeters, or 60 centimeters squared. The second one is 5 centimeters times 6 centimeters, which gives us 30 centimeters squared. And we arrived at that 5 centimeters by halving the original length along the top. Adding the 2 areas together gives us 60 centimeters squared plus 30 centimeters squared, or 90 centimeters squared. Triangle is half of the square or rectangle. This is why we half the base times height, the area of a square. But what does this mean and how do we work it out? Well, the equation is A equals half of BH. So the A can be changed to area, or area equals half of BH. And then what we need to do is change our letters to the numbers in our equation. Then we can change our B, which is the base, and our height for the numbers in the triangle. So area equals half of 18 times 6. Put half into a calculator, you would use 0.5. Area equals 0.5 times 18 times 6, which is 54. So in this first example, and using the equation, the area is half of 6 times 8, because the base is 6 and the height is 8. So the area is 24 centimeters squared. In this second example, using the same equation, the area is 0.5 times 12 times 5, because the base is 12 and the height is 5. The answer is 30 centimeters squared. Let's look at some practice questions. So for each of the questions below, work out what the area of this triangle would be if the base and the height are the following measurements. So the base is 6 centimeters and the height is 4.5 centimeters in the first example. The base is 15 centimeters and the height is 9 centimeters in the second example. The base is 26 centimeters and the height is 21 centimeters in the third example. And the base is 32 centimeters and the height is 45 centimeters in the fourth example. So press pause, have a go at answering the question, and press play when you're ready to see the answers. Did you get them right? In the first example, the equation is 0.5 times 6 times 4.5. In other words, 13.5 centimeters squared. The second example, it's 0.5 times 15 times 9, which is 67.5 centimeters squared. The third example is 0.5 times 26 times 21, which is 273 centimeters squared. The fourth example is 0.5 times 32 times 45, which is 720 centimeters squared. Here's another example of an exam question. Calculate the area of the triangle. Press pause, have a go at answering the question, and press play when you're ready to see the answer. Get this correct. Using the same formula and process as we've done before, A equals 0.5 times 10 times 5. And the answer is 25 centimeters squared. So the formula for working out the area of a circle is A equals pi r squared. What does this mean and how do we work it out? The A can be changed to area, and the little 2 symbol means squared, and this means we times the number by itself. So the area equals pi r squared. Then we can change our letters and symbols for numbers in our formula. Pi symbol stands for pi, and this number is 3.14. And the r stands for the radius, which is the distance to the middle of the circle. So the area equals 3.14 times 4 by 4. And the area equals 50.24 centimeters squared. So in this first example here, the radius is 6 centimeters. So A equals pi r squared, or the area equals 3.14 times 6 times 6. Is 113.04 centimeters squared. The second example, the radius is 3.2 centimeters. Using the same equation, the area equals 3.14 times 3.2 times 3.2. The area equals 32.1536 centimeters squared. Let's look at some practice questions. For each of the questions below, work out what the area of the circle would be if the radius was the following measurements. So in the first one, the radius is 8. In the second, the radius is 24. The third, the radius is 39 centimeters. And in the fourth, the diameter is 54 centimeters. So press pause, have a go at answering the question, and then press play when you're ready to see the answers. Did you get them right? First question, the answer is 3.14 times 8 by 8, which is 200.96 centimeters squared. The second one is 3.14 times 24 times 24, which is 1,808.64 centimeters squared. The third answer is 3.14 times 39 times 39, which is 4,775.94 centimeters squared. And the fourth answer is 3.14 times 27 times 27, which is 2,289.06 centimeters squared. Now in that original question, the diameter was 54, and in order for the equation to work, we needed the radius. So we needed to divide the diameter by 2 to get 27. Let's look at a typical exam question. Shown is a circle with a radius of 5 centimeters. Work out the area of the circle and state the units for your answer. Give your answer to 2 decimal places. Press pause, have a go at answering the question, and press play when you're ready to see the answers. Did you get this right? We can use our formula from previously to work out this question. A equals 3.14 times 5 times 5. The answer is 78.5 centimeters squared. It's really important to read the exam question correctly, because if you don't read the question correctly, you could get your answer wrong. Let's recap. You should now be able to work out the perimeter of basic 2D shapes like squares and rectangles, work out the perimeter of triangles and circles, work out the area of basic 2D shapes like squares and rectangles, and work out the area of triangles and circles. Thanks for participating, and we'll see you in the next video.